Hey y'all, so I want to show you something here about the 1599 Geneva Bible and also the King James Version. So I did like a video yesterday showing that I got this new Thompson Chain Reference Bible. It's the Kirkbride type and everything. It's like one of the last ones they're selling because they're not doing any more of these. They're going to the comfort print, which I think is crazy. But that's what they want to do, you know. Anyway, to me that's just ruined the whole thing of Thompson Chain Reference Bibles. Zondervan, they should let Kirkbride do their thing with publishing them, but of course they're bottom out, so we can expect to see the end of the Thompson Chain Reference Bible after they sell these Kirkbride type prints out from wherever they're at, like on eBay and Church Bible Publishers and things like that. Might as well forget it, unless you can find one on eBay somewhere. Not eBay, but Amazon. Amazon and Church Bible Publishers, and of course whatever's left on eBay. That's what I meant to say. So anyway, let's see what this message was. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to show you something here real quick, and you have to excuse my little printy stuff there. Go to Geneva Bible 1599. And it says pretty much the same thing as the 1560. I have a facsimile edition of the 1560, and of course, you know, you can go to this one. I thought it took me to the 1560 here, but I guess not. I don't know. There's 1560 Geneva on here. Should be. That's okay. 1599 I do too. Because a lot of people say that the Geneva Bible was the actual Bible of America, you know, and stuff like that. Well, maybe, but the King James Version replaced it because the Geneva Bible had a lot of mistakes in it. But that didn't mean that it couldn't be used. A lot of Geneva Bible is used. The wording, what have you, is used in the Authorized Version. A lot of stuff from the Bishop's Bible is used. A lot of stuff from the Great Bible is used. The Taverners, and of course the Tyndale and the Rogers, and things like that. Let's see here. Where am I at now? Back on Geneva. Okay, so the subject was this right here. You see how this starts out at first? 3 dear years. Oh, wow. So let's take a look at that real quick. Then we'll go to the thing I really want to look at, which is about Goliath and Elhanan. So if we take a look at the very first part of chapter 21 in the Authorized Version, it says, "Then there was a famine in the days of David, 3 years, year after year." Here it says 3 dear years. Well, what is it talking about? Oh, okay, well, I'm sorry, my fault. It says 3 dear years at the top. That's the heading there. 3 dear years. The vengeance of the sins of Saul lighteth on his 7 sons, which are hanged, 4 great battles which David had against the Philistines. Alright, it says, "Then there was a famine in the days of David, 3 years together." And David, see, the Bible says, the Authorized Version Bible says year after year. Here's this 3 years together. Okay, it's a little bit more detailed in some areas, the King James Version. But anyway, I mistook this right here. Let me see if I can use this thing here. I mistook this part right here for being a part of the first verse. Well, that's my fault. Sorry. So I'm going to get that out of there. Alright, so let me get this right here. And so let's go to chapter 19. Sorry, verse 19. And you see it says there, "And there was yet another battle in Gob, and with the Philistines, where Elhanan the son of Jeroham, a Bethlehemite, slew Goliath." It says slew Goliath right there. Well, I got terrible finger writing. There we go. Slew Goliath, the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. Now the Authorized Version says, King James Bible, going too far. And there was again a battle in Gob with the Philistines, where Elhanan, the son of Jeroham, a Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath, the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. And if you look at those words in the Authorized Version, they are italicized. You know why they're italicized, right? It's because evidently in the Geneva, that wasn't in there, whereas in older manuscripts it was in there. They didn't add that in the Geneva Bible, whether by mistake or accident or what have you. It's not to say that there was anything wrongdoing on the Puritan side of that, or what have you, or by the Calvinists in this case. Things are, they were banished from England and they went to the Geneva, Switzerland to make their book. So, there were some pressures, maybe some things that they didn't have access to. So, the proper thing to say there was that the brother of Goliath was slain. And not only this, but many other places in the Geneva 1560 and many other places, as you see here in 1599 and the so-called 2007, where everybody says this is the real Bible of America, it's the Geneva, something that came from Switzerland by Calvinists, John Calvin, and things like that, which is pretty, he's the father of Calvinism and stuff, and things of that nature. Now, I'm not discounting anything he says. I'm not saying anything he's done was bad or whatever, but there's a lot of confusion right there, as you can see. Goliath the Gittite. Where's the thing at? Where's it at? There we go. Goliath the Gittite slew Goliath the Gittite. Now, if it was another person by the name of Goliath, I'm sure it would have been specific. Scripture would have been specific as to which Goliath that was. It would have said Goliath, the son of such and such, the Goliath or the grandson of the first Goliath or something like that, Goliath Jr. But no, it didn't say that. It said Goliath the Gittite, and we all know that Goliath was a Gittite. He was from Gath. That was the one that David killed with a slingshot with a stone to the forehead. So he killed Goliath, not Elhanan. It's not like Goliath came back alive and then he's like, I'm going to kill this dude, some kind of zombie form, and then he got killed again. No, that didn't happen. So again, the scriptures, if that were the case, the scriptures would have been specific about it. But again, when you see that scripture in the Authorized Version, it says the brother of in italics. It does not say in this right here, the brother of. But I think if we go to 1 Chronicles, let me see if it's got a thing here. Yeah, 1 Chronicles 20 and 5. So let's go with this right here. Let's go to 1 Chronicles 20 and 5 on this right here. If I can get my finger, I got this little hand thing holding, I can't really get my finger in there. 1 Chronicles 20. Okay. And let's go to verse 5. And it says, and there was yet another battle with the Philistines, and Elhanan the son of Jair, the Lami, slew Lami, the brother of Goliath the Gittite. See, not the 2 Samuel and 1 Chronicles, 2 Samuel 20 and 19 is the same as 1 Chronicles 20 and 5. It talks about the same event, but instead of saying Jeroham, it just says the son of Jair. Okay, because it's the same person. He was a Bethlehemite. Okay, it just kind of take some of that wording out, but it's the same guy. He slew the brother of Goliath, that being Lami, the brother of Goliath the Gittite. Lami, the brother of Goliath the Gittite, whose spear staff was like a weaver's beam. That's still talking about Goliath, I suppose, or Lami might have had one the same size. You don't know. Now let's see what it says in the Authorized Version, the King James Bible. Okay, me get there first. So, what do we say? First Chronicles 20 and 5. Now, these are just one of many things. I'm just focusing on this one. And try not to bend my pages up in my new Bible. Man. Okay, First Chronicles 20 and 5. And it says the same thing. And there was war again with the Philistines, and Elhanan the son of Jair slew Lameh, the brother of Goliath the Gittite, whose spear staff was like a weaver's beam. And so this right here, was like a weaver's beam, is in there. Whose spear staff was like a weaver's beam, is already in there, as an italicized word. So just like it is in the Authorized Version, the King James Bible. Get that back over here. Okay, so as you can see, there are a lot of mistakes, maybe not on purpose, in the Geneva Bible of 1599, just like the Geneva Bible of 1560, just like the Geneva Bible of 1555 or 56, the one that came out that I think was the Old Testament first, and then the New Testament, the whole volume. The 1556, I think it was the Old Testament, and then the whole thing in 1560. So there are a lot of mistakes there, and but that didn't detract of the contribution that the Geneva Bible provided to making the Authorized Version. So that's whenever the translators were talking about, there are a lot of good Bibles out there, but the King James Bible, in other words, this one is going to be better. This one's the better one. It's a culmination of all those good Bibles. And I suppose that with all the mistakes that it might have been in the bishops, it might have been in the Geneva or whatever else, some people could deduce by faith that Lameh was the one that was killed whenever they went to First Chronicles. That's like, oh, it wasn't Goliath was killed again, it was Lameh. So they made a boo-boo there. Okay, well, fine. Because it was a printing mistake. Maybe it was a printer's mistake. Maybe it was something they didn't catch. But you have people who were in the translators who were catching words that might have been misprinted by the printers with the Authorized Version. And then at the same time, like with other people who came afterward, like in 1762, 1769, they were standardizing these words, editing these words and everything, making them shorter, making them more precise, not changing the meaning or anything, just like it was in the Geneva. But think about it. These people were ran off by Queen Mary. They were ran off by Queen Mary into another country. And they went to Switzerland, right? Pretty much Germany in a way. And they came up with this new Bible, And I'm sure if you read the bishops, it wouldn't say exactly what that says in the Geneva 1599 or 1560. It'd say something a little bit different. But that's why they made these translators say, well, we're taking what we have in the bishops, in the Taverners, in the Great, in the Geneva, and all these English Bibles, and we're taking these good Bibles, we're making something even better, a supreme principle good one. And that's what the Authorized Version is. That's what the King James Bible is. You don't have to call it the King James Bible. You don't have to call it the Authorized Version. It is the latest edition of the English Bible, and minus the Revised Version of 1885, because that eventually, part of that became, it also got Americanized in the ASV, American Standard Version, pretty much. The RSV, NRSV, and all the rest of them, So anyway, I just wanted to show you that real quick, that nobody is trying to say that the Geneva wasn't America's Bible, but there were some mistakes in there, that the King James Bible, the Authorized Version of 1611, superseded that Bible. That's not to say that that Bible was not ever used again, Geneva Bible, what have you. But the things that they made a mistake in it, that they didn't clarify, that it didn't correct, were brought down into the Authorized Version of King James Bible, which superseded, which replaced the Geneva Bible as far as correction. That doesn't mean that people stop using it, and stuff like that. But again, they could have been mistakes by those in Geneva, by the Puritans. They could have been mistakes by the printers that never got corrected, and that's what you see there. We know that Goliath was not killed by Elhanan. And then when you take that same Geneva Bible and you go to 1 Chronicles 20, and it tells you it wasn't Elhanan it wasn't a Goliath that was killed, it was Lamech that was killed. So it kind of corrected itself, but it took several books to get there to show you that. Whereas the Authorized Version showed you who got killed. So it was Lamech. It wasn't it was Goliath that was killed. So I just want to make sure what I'm saying here is true. Hang on one second. So yeah, I'm reading it right. In the Authorized Version, it says, "And there was yet a battle in And there was again a battle in Gob with the Philistines, where Elhanan the son of Jeroham, a Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath the Gittite." Okay, that's what it says in the Authorized Version here. Now let's go back again to what it said in the Geneva 1599, which is what it says in the Geneva 1560. Okay, so we can see it down here once again, right there. Excuse my handwriting, my finger writing actually. It says slew Goliath the Gittite. Of course, by the Authorized Version, that's the first chapter. If you read from left to right, that's the first book you're going to read. You're going to read 2 Samuel before you read 1 Chronicles. So somebody might say, what? Goliath was killed again? Well, you have to keep reading to find out. No, there wasn't Goliath that was killed, it was Lamech that was killed. But if you read the Authorized Version, the King James Bible, which is the correction of the Geneva and the bishops and the taverners and the great and all the rest of them, it shows you that, that was his brother. And then later on, his brother was named Lamech, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, that thing's in my face there. Let's see. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out real quick, and just hope that there's some understanding on that. That's not to discount the Geneva Bible from being a bad Bible or whatever. It's not. To say that it is. It's just saying that there's things that are still left in the Geneva Bible in a facsimile and whatever. There's things that are still left in the Geneva Bible that they have not corrected. And when you look at a Geneva Bible and you compare it to the to like Bibles like the New King James Version and others, you're like, wow, they say the same thing in that respect. That's because they use the Geneva Bible. These translators or other Bible versions, they used the Geneva Bible. They didn't really even go with the Authorized Version. They went with the previous Bibles and stuff. And so they picked up the mistakes that were there. And I'm not saying that the mistakes that were made in the Geneva were on purpose. It could have been a printer error. It could have been something that happened. I don't think it was left there intentionally, but whenever they didn't correct it or whatever, so this is what we got. It's like it comes in conflict with what the Authorized Version says, and it does. But I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know if it's a mistake or whatever. But then again, you see the correction being made several chapters later in 1 Chronicles 20. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that. Not trying to offend anybody who loves the Geneva Bible. I'm not trying to upset you or anything like that. I'm just showing you what it says. Okay, so we got it all right here, and we got it in Bible form, and we got it in authorized Bible form, King James Version, what have you. Again, hey, thanks for watching. God bless. I hope you get something out of this, and y'all take care, and we'll see you later.